Once a symbol of economic hope, Hyundai's $7.6 billion electric vehicle plant in Georgia became the epicenter of a national crisis. In early September 2025, federal agents raided the construction site, transforming a beacon of progress into chaos. Hundreds of workers, many flown in from South Korea, arrived that morning expecting another day of building the future. Suddenly, ICE vehicles swarmed the area, rounding up individuals in a swift, large-scale operation. The raid was part of the Trump administration's intensified immigration enforcement, shocking both the community and Hyundai. Video footage showed engineers and technicians, brought in for their expertise, lined up, frisked, and led away in plastic ties. The spectacle sent shockwaves far beyond Georgia, raising questions about America's treatment of its global partners. What was once a story of collaboration and growth became one of conflict and uncertainty. The raid targeted a project meant to secure thousands of American jobs and position the U.S. at the forefront of green technology. Instead, it exposed a deep tension between economic ambitions and strict immigration policies. The sight of foreign specialists detained at a flagship investment project created a troubling narrative. Hyundai, Georgia, and two allied nations were left grappling with the fallout, wondering if their partnership had been irreparably damaged. The aftermath was immediate and personal. 475 people detained, most of them South Korean nationals. They were transported to a detention center, facing an uncertain future far from home. The treatment of these skilled workers, engineers and technicians, sparked outrage in South Korea and diplomatic tension. Initial plans to process them through standard deportation procedures, including handcuffing, were met with fierce objections. President Trump intervened, instructing officials to allow the detainees to return home without the indignity of restraints. On September 11, 2025, a Korean air charter flight carried over 300 South Korean workers back home. Officially, their departure was voluntary, but to many, it felt like a mass deportation. These specialists had come to build a landmark facility. They left under a cloud of controversy. Their absence left a void in the project and a scar on U.S.-Korea relations. The empty seats on that flight symbolized more than lost workers. They marked a breach of trust. The human cost of the raid could not be measured in dollars. For Hyundai and Georgia, the loss was both economic and deeply personal. The project's future was suddenly in doubt. The raid sent tremors through U.S.-South Korea relations. In Seoul, President Lee Jae-myung warned that Korean companies might reconsider investing in the U.S. if such incidents continued. He called for urgent visa reform to protect skilled workers from immigration crackdowns. The images of Korean specialists in restraints were deeply offensive, threatening both national pride and economic interests. For Hyundai and other Korean giants, the U.S. now seemed less predictable. In Washington, the response was conflicted, balancing tough immigration policy with the need to protect foreign investment. President Trump's order to treat the workers with dignity was an attempt at damage control, but the raid itself sent a contradictory message. Georgia officials scrambled to reassure Hyundai, emphasizing the state's long partnership and commitment to the project. Governor Brian Kemp's office reaffirmed support, but the split between state economic priorities and federal enforcement was clear. The incident exposed a rift. Georgia wanted to roll out the red carpet, while federal agencies pulled it away. The alliance, built on decades of cooperation, was suddenly on shaky ground. Both nations were left questioning the rules of engagement. The future of foreign investment in America was now uncertain. For Georgia, the Hyundai plant was the crown jewel of its economic strategy, a $7.6 billion investment promising over 8,000 jobs. The facility, already employing 1,200 people, was set to transform the region and anchor a new era of prosperity. Local businesses, suppliers, and entire communities were counting on the ripple effect of Hyundai's presence. The plant was also a key step in America's green transition, aligning with national goals for clean energy and domestic manufacturing. The raid put this entire ecosystem at risk. If Hyundai scaled back or pulled out, the loss would be catastrophic. Thousands of jobs gone, local businesses collapsing, and a half-built facility left behind. The economic future of the region, once bright, was now clouded with uncertainty. The project was meant to be a model for attracting foreign investment to achieve U.S. strategic goals. Now, it risked becoming a cautionary tale of how policy conflicts can undermine progress. The stakes were not just about one company, they were about the livelihoods of thousands and the destiny of a state. Georgia's promise of prosperity was suddenly in jeopardy. The fallout threatened to echo for generations. Amid the turmoil, Hyundai's reputation for building safe, reliable vehicles remains unshaken. Years of investment in safety technology have earned Hyundai top ratings from U.S. safety organizations. The 2025 Tucson, for example, boasts a near-perfect safety score, and the highest awards from NHTSA and IIHS. Advanced safety features, once reserved for luxury cars, are now standard on most Hyundais, protecting drivers and pedestrians alike. This commitment to safety has helped Hyundai become a major player in the U.S. Yet, the current crisis threatens to overshadow this legacy. For American consumers, the question is whether political drama will affect the availability and affordability of these trusted vehicles. Hyundai's hard-won reputation is at risk, even though the controversy has nothing to do with its products. The company's future in the U.S. market is suddenly less certain. The Georgia raid sent a chilling message to the global business community. International corporations now question whether the U.S. is a stable place to invest. The sudden detention of foreign specialists introduces new risks for companies considering billion-dollar commitments. Advanced manufacturing often requires bringing in expert teams from abroad. If those teams face the threat of detention, investment may go elsewhere. The contradiction is stark. America wants foreign investment, but its immigration policies create operational hurdles. The Hyundai episode is a warning. Future investors may demand stronger guarantees or choose other countries. The long-term cost could be fewer jobs, slower innovation, and a less competitive U.S. economy. Policy incoherence undermines America's goals. The world is watching and recalculating. The consequences of this crisis ripple far beyond Hyundai and its workers. If the company scales back, American workers lose thousands of stable, well-paying jobs. Local businesses, suppliers, restaurants, real estate agents face devastation. Tax revenue for schools and public services vanishes, hurting entire communities. Car buyers lose out too. Less competition means higher prices and fewer choices. Hyundai's innovation and value keep the market honest. Losing that pressure hurts consumers. The real price is paid by American families, business owners, and communities whose dreams are shattered. The promise of prosperity turns into economic decline. In our interconnected world, the cost of exclusion and conflict is high. Ordinary people are left to foot the bill.